Trustee Chair Ravi, Trustee Jita, Director Katarina, Pastoral International Vice President Yinka Babalola, my fellow MGAs Mohammed and Serge, good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you are joining us from. My name is Emmanuel Katongole, and I'm the outgoing EMGA for Region 28. I am delighted to welcome you to this gathering of Rotarians and friends to celebrate the Rotary Foundation. We are gathered here to particularly celebrate and recognize distinguished individuals that have gone far and beyond to support our foundation. This virtual launch is hosted by the TRF Chair Trustee Ravi Ravindran, Trustee Jita, and the 3 MGAs that cover our zone 22. I'd like to give recognition to our special guest, Sir Emeka Ofor, and also recognize District Governor Anne Marie, who is the district convener and governor who has convened the Africa Centennial celebrations and was kind enough to allow us to anchor this particular event to the main Centennial celebrations. And of course, each of you is special to Rotary. Welcome all, and thank you for honoring us with your presence. Many virtual rooms have generously supported Rotary's good work. Many of you are even Arch-Clump Society members, the most generous of the generous. We also have among us a number of non-Rotarian guests, and perhaps by the end of this event, they may be inspired to join us in supporting the good work that Rotary does throughout Africa and throughout the world. Before I turn this over to Director Katarina, allow me to give a brief overview of the donor recognition event. Africa is now celebrating 100 years of Rotary in Africa. Rotary in Africa has continued to grow not only in membership, but also in the number of projects that hubs in the zone have been implementing. All this has been made possible due to the generous support of Rotarians and friends of Rotary. The virtual event is to celebrate major gifts from the individuals who have, after the Egypt Institute in Sharm el-Sheikh in October 2019, to whom we owe a lot of gratitude. Director Katarina, the floor is yours.
Trustee Chair Ravi Ravindran, dear fellow Rotarians, welcome to the Rotary Africa Centennial Major Donors event. Today, we will express our great appreciation to the major donors to the Rotary Foundation, those with whose support our foundation helps create lasting change. Dear major donors, thank you for your generosity, your commitment, and your great efforts to support our foundation so that Rotary achieves its full potential of doing good in the world. The mission of our foundation is to enable Rotary members to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, and the alleviation of poverty. Today, more than ever, our support of the Rotary Foundation is significant. The pandemic is an exceptional challenge for nearly all of us, but it is also an opportunity for Rotarians to find new, meaningful ways to lead individuals and communities to connect and change lives. We have never been prouder to be part of an organization that does so much to protect and strengthen our communities at home and across the globe. Your support also enables our foundation to fulfill its promise of a polio-free world, Rotary's top priority. TRF grants have effectively improved lives in the African continent, making it a better place to live in. It is a great pleasure and honor for me to introduce Trustee Chair, past RI President Ravi Ravindran. Ravi Ravindran is a third-generation Rotarian, joining Rotary at age 21. Ravindran was the first president of the Sri Lanka Anti-Narcotics Association. He headed a national committee consisting of Rotary, his country's health ministry and UNICEF for the eradication of polio, and worked closely with UNICEF to negotiate a ceasefire in the ongoing civil war to facilitate national immunization days. Sri Lanka became the first country in South Asia to become polio-free. He also headed a Rotary project to build 25 modern schools across the country, replacing those destroyed by the 2004 tsunami. Chairman Ravi and his wife Vanathy are Arch Clump Society members and benefactors of the Rotary Foundation. Ravi Ravindran made our foundation stronger during his term as TRF chair. Leading by example, he's always available to join virtual meetings of so many clubs, districts, even small groups, always with a big smile, clarifying aspects of the foundation and its global impact. He really has risen to challenge in difficult times. Trustee Chair Ravi Ravindran has been a constant source of inspiration, motivation, and leadership for TRF. Please join me in welcoming Trustee Chair Ravi Ravindran.
My dear friends, one of the great disappointments this year was that we could not celebrate the Centennial of Africa in person in a befitting manner. But in relation to the misfortunes and setbacks suffered by so many this year, this is a small price to pay. But I'm glad that I do have an opportunity to recognize and thank our generous donors of Africa. And in expressing gratitude, let me especially address my friends, our hard-working EMGAs, Delawa, Dauda, and Katangole. I want to share with you a story. A little more than 26 or 27 years ago, when my business was still very small and I was still struggling to build it, I was on my way back from Hong Kong and on the way to India for a Rotary Institute. In transit in Singapore, I was seated in the lounge waiting for my connection when I sensed two gentlemen holding mugs of steaming hot coffee standing perilously close to me. I was quite disturbed because I thought they would spill the hot coffee on me. I looked up with an annoying face, and to my surprise, I found that it was none other than past President Raja Sabu and then President Herb Brown coming in from Malaysia and also connecting on the same flight going to the same institute in India. Obviously, I could not show my annoyance to such high-up Rotary officials. But it so happened that Raja Sabu was sitting next to me in the aircraft, while President Herb and Diane were in the front seats. During the flight, Raja leant across and said he wants to ask me something. He went on to explain that he would like me to become a major donor. I did not know what a major donor was. I presumed in my ignorance that if a Paul Harris Fellowship is $1,000, well, a major donor may be $2,000. Nonetheless, I asked him, what is a major donor and how much are you expecting from me? He held my hand and he responded, $25,000. We were now close to 40,000 feet in the air. And there was no way out for me. I said the one thing which I knew would get me out of that precarious situation, and that was that I had to ask my wife before I respond. The reality was that for the time of my life when I used to skip lunch to save money, hoping someone would buy me dinner when I was traveling on business, I was building my career. A few weeks later, I was walking my dog on the road, a prize-winning Labrador, and attempting to cross a side road when I saw a jeep coming slowly and then suddenly accelerating towards me. I stopped in the middle of the road, giving him room to go on either side. But the next thing I knew, the vehicle hit me, and my dog and I were thrown some feet away. To cut a long story short, the driver of the vehicle was a young girl learning to drive without an L board or L sign, and who pressed the accelerator instead of the brake. I was bruised, I was bleeding, with an angry dog, but I did find my way home with no serious injury. In fact, that evening we were at a cocktail party when I overheard a lady relating to others in her group how she had witnessed earlier in the evening a car knocking over a man walking his dog. And then pausing for a moment, she says, "Thank God, nothing happened to that beautiful dog." But my wife and I began to think, if that accident had cost me a broken limb, or something even more serious, we thought of the inconvenience, the pain, the money, the misery, the sacrifices we would have had to undergo. But we got off light thanks to His blessings. Thanking the good Lord in a church or a temple was the easiest thing to do. But we decided that God would appreciate it much more if we made a gift to humanity, which really hurt us. As Mother Teresa said, give till it hurts. And at a time when we could least afford it, we decided to become major donors by paying $25,000. And that was our first gift to Rotary 20 odd years ago. That gift did hurt me then, but the return on that investment was greater in every sense. Since then, I make a contribution on the 1st of July every year, because I believe that unless I give first, I cannot ask you. Over the years, I have seen some extraordinary gestures of generosity. Ravi Shankar was an incoming president of a Rotary Club in the Bangalore area of India. Just before he assumed the office of president in his club on July 1st, he made a single contribution of $17 million. Why $17 million? Because it works out to 1 billion Indian rupees. Ravi Shankar was a self-made man. His father was a freedom fighter for India who donated all their lands and died young, and his mother, feeding 7 children, lived on 100 rupees a month. But Ravi built a construction business and did reasonably well, and decided that he would dispose of nearly 3/4 of his business in order to pay this money to the foundation. In his view, he had more than what he needed for the rest of his life. And so he said, I must give away what I do not need because other people need it more. He even put up his Mercedes for auction and gave the entire money to the foundation. What a man he is. I speak now to a group of people who have shown equal generosity. 70 of you have become new major donors, or you have elevated your major donor status to the next level. I noticed that there have also been Bequest Society members, and happily 3 new AKS members this year. I do understand that every one of you who gives so generously does not always do so because you have surplus of cash. You are generous because generosity is all about kindness. You give because it makes you feel good. You give because it strengthens personal values. You cater to your social conscience. You give because you want to make a difference, and because you know that through the foundation we can make the difference. You give because you know that only 10% of the world's population live in reasonable comfort, while the rest of the world belongs to the category that can do with support from Rotarians like us. You give because you know the world will thrive only when men and women like us plant trees, even though we may never benefit from its shade. Contributions to the foundation are broken into the annual fund, the endowment fund, and the polio fund. The idea behind the endowment fund is simple. Endowments provide support to foundation programs today and in perpetuity. Today, our endowment consists of $605.5 million in net assets and $845.6 million in commitments for a combined total of $1.45 billion. Today, we have 1,096 Arch Clump Society members, 37,675 major donors, and 1,765,280 Paul Harris Fellows. Our goal for 2025 is $2.025 billion in net assets and expectancies. That's 2025, 2.025. And when we reach 1 billion, the funds available on an annual basis for spending would be $40 million to $50 million, even if no one gave a cent that year. Imagine how much good we can do even if we did not raise that single dollar during bad times. Yes, over the years, I have realized, most thankfully, that most Rotarians realize that their life is no longer cocooned in isolated neighborhoods. Every one of us has an obligation to level the playing field of life. When there are starving children with bloated bellies, when there are tearfully weeping mothers, when there are cataracted eyes or crooked limbs, they are not someone else's problem. They are also ours. When there are the old and the tired, the poor and the sick, the hopeless and the futureless, the Rotary Foundation reminds us constantly why we are here, reminds us as to who it is we serve, reminds us that it is not the quantum of the gift that matters, but the spirit in which it is offered. Reminds us that these days, these hours, while we yet walk this earth, that this is our time and that we must grasp it, and this time will never come again. I ask you, my friends, to always keep the foundation in your mind. For all over the world, people are waiting for us. They're waiting for us to succeed with a stronger Rotary and a stronger foundation. They're waiting for us to do the work we have promised to do as Rotarians. We should not fail them. This is our time. Let us grasp it. And to all you wonderful major donors and Bequest Society members from the continent of Africa, I thank you again. And I ask you to be safe with God's blessings always.
Inspiring remarks from a man who has been a Rotary leader for many years and whose wisdom will continue to guide us in the years to come. Allow me at this juncture to invite my team member and colleague in this Rotary journey, EMGA Muhammad Delaware, to say a few words and also present to us the donors from his region.
Greetings, dear friends. Welcome to this celebration of African generosity from across the continent. My name is Mohammed Delaware, and I'm the Endowment Major Gift Advisor for Region 27 in Africa. Other than my home district 2451 in Egypt, I serve Rotarians in Sudan, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Ghana, and the 4 districts in Nigeria. I have the great pleasure of working with donors from these countries who have generously supported the Rotary Foundation and our many programs that are making a difference in communities. In the 8 districts and the 7 countries I serve as MGA, there are almost 400 existing major donors of various levels. We have 9 Bequest Society members and an incredible 15 Arsh Club Society members amongst our ranks. Thank you for your leadership in the zone. Today, we will recognize only those members who have reached major donors status for the first time or who changed levels since the last time we were all together at the Institute in Sharm el-Sheikh in 2019. We are fortunate to have many donors to recognize from the past year, and I will not attempt for sure to read all the names. Instead, please take a moment to read their names yourself and acknowledge their generosity to our foundation. As we begin the presentation, I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for opening opportunities for those less fortunate. You have paved the way forward to a better world, and we are grateful for your gifts. Please join me in celebrating the new major donors from Region 27, Africa.
Thank you very much, PDG Mohammed, and the donors of Region 27. We truly value your support. Next, my colleague, PDG Saj Manani, please, welcome.
Chers amis, bienvenue à cet événement spécial, célébrant les plus généreux donateurs de notre fondation. Je suis le PDG Serge Daouda Manani et je suis conseiller fonds de dotation dons majeurs pour l'Afrique francophone. Ma région, comme toute l'Afrique elle-même, est extrêmement diversifiée. J'aide les Rotariens des 5 districts francophones qui englobent 35 pays et 9500 membres à réaliser leurs rêves en matière de soutien à la Fondation Rotary. La Fondation Rotary joue un rôle important dans la vie de nos membres dans cette région. À ce jour, nous comptons plus de 200 donateurs majeurs dans la région. Nos membres agissent et inspirent les autres à suivre. Depuis juillet 2019, nous avons mis en œuvre plus de 140 subventions mondiales d'une valeur de plus de 12 millions de dollars. C'est le Rotary, l'humanité en action. Veuillez vous joindre à moi pour féliciter plus de 200 nouveaux donateurs majeurs qui ont atteint cette étape après l'Institut de Sharm el-Sheikh en Égypte en septembre 2019. Chers amis rotariens, je vous remercie.
Thank you so very much, PDG Saj, and for your leadership within the region that has tremendous growth. At this point, I invite one of Rotary in Africa greater leader, a leader whose passion is greatly contagious and who continues to inspire Rotarians in Africa through his devout passion and leadership. My mentor and a good friend, Past Rotary International President Yinka Babalola. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much, Emmanuel, for that introduction. As Rotarians on the African continent, we've also been doing our part in supporting our Rotary Foundation. It is true that Africa is considered disadvantaged, but I've always said it that Rotarians from the African continent are not any poorer than Rotarians anywhere else. And our contribution records has reflected that to a lot of extent. I think over the last 10, 15 years, for example, the contribution has been on the rise, supporting polio eradication, contributing to the annual fund and of recently also to the Peace Fund with our Peace Center at the Makerere University. On the average, every year we've been contributing between 3.5 million to $6 million US every year from the African continent, depending on what the economy says. And one of the things we would like to see is that this figure continues to grow and that more Rotarians on the continent continue to give to the Rotary Foundation. As at now, just about 30% to 40% of our clubs contribute to the Rotary Foundation. We would like to see that improved. We would like to see a situation where all our districts record no zero giving clubs. So all our clubs give something no matter how small. I'm very happy in particular, and I want to say thank you very much to our leadership in the districts, current and past, with respect to the polio fund. Almost all our districts have contributed the mandatory or the requested 20% of DDF to support polio. We have done that consistently for the last 8 years, and we should continue to do that, even though we are thankful that Africa has now been declared polio-free, but we must continue to support this effort until our final goal of having polio eradicated in the world is done. So our governors-elect and governors nominee, future leaders of Rotary on the continent, we need to continue to provide that support for polio eradication from the DDF. We've also requested that over the next 5 years, that all our districts contribute 10% of the DDF to support the Peace Center on the African continent. The first year, last year, was relatively successful. We had about 13 of our 16 districts. From 1st of July, we'll be having 17 districts. And my appeal again is that our goal, and my own personal appeal, is that this 10% of DDF towards the Peace Center to support the Africa Peace Center is also done by all of us. And that we go ahead and be generous as we've always been. We have seen a tremendous increase in the number of Ashkelon Society members from the African continent. I think as at 2011, we had only 2 Ashkelon Society members. Today, we have about 27 from the African continent. And that is something every African Rotarian should be proud of. But those who have given are not necessarily those who have it. They are just the ones that have been generous and have a great heart. And they are not the only ones who have. There are so many other Rotarians on the continent who are able to give significant gifts, but have not done so either because they are not very familiar with the giving process. And I want to use this medium to encourage all our officers responsible for this to reach out and ask so that we can continue to give support to our Rotary Foundation. We are a major user of the Rotary Foundation funds, and I've said that many times, and it is only appropriate that we give our share of it. I recall some few years back, the Rotary Foundation spent about, I think, $200 million in grants, and about 120 million of that came to Africa. So we are using it. Many of our districts are doing grants in excess of $30 million every year. This is coming back and helping us to increase our impact. So, but let us continue to give. Let us continue to support our Rotary Foundation. Let us support all the funds, our polio funds, our peace funds, our annual fund, and continue to utilize the grants to improve our community, expand our reach, and increase our impact in the community. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and congratulations, Rotarians from Africa, for the Centennial celebration.
Thank you, Pastor Director Yinka. Thank you for your wisdom and support throughout our region. Allow me to share with you the names of the generous donors from my territory, which is Region 28. Region 28 includes the 6 districts that cover 16 countries. Just like EMG Muhammad, I am equally thrilled and happy to announce our most recent donors and Bequest Society members from Region 28. As mentioned, these are donors who form the second half of the Rotary year 2019-2020 to date. Again, because of time, I will also not read through all the donors' names, but rest assured that as EMGA of the region and on behalf of the Rotary Foundation, we are truly grateful for this support. Allow me to begin with our newest AKS member from Region 28. A big congratulations to past District Governor Eric Munene Kimani and his spouse lady, Margaret Munene. Congratulations to both of you. Rotarian Bahendra Bagda also recently joined the AKS level, and Rotarian Bagda, thank you very much for your continued support and commitment to Rotary. Thank you for rolling up your sleeves and putting a lot of effort to keep the Rotary wheel of doing good going. Again, because of time, I'll not read through all the donors' names, but rest assured that as EMGA of the region and on behalf of the Rotary Foundation, we're truly grateful for the support. Thank you for showing such commitment through your gifts. This virtual room is filled with generous people, mostly but not all, Rotarians who support Rotary's most important causes. I wish that we could ask each and every one of you to say a few words. However, given that our time is brief, I am hoping that you will be inspired by remarks from one of our most generous donors from Africa. Trustee Jita, the stage is yours to tell us something and also introduce our guest speaker to Rotary today.
I'm really proud this morning to introduce a person who I call a friend of mine. Sir Emeka Ofor is the executive chairman of Chrome Group of Companies, a Nigerian company which he founded in 1993. He's a dynamic, astute, and adventurous entrepreneur with over 3 decades of entrepreneurial experience. Sir Emeka was born in Kafanchan, Kaduna State on the 10th of February, 1959. He's the first of 10 children. His father's former colleague, Mr. Jeffrey Abadi, got him employed as a transport clerk in Riverways Lines Nigeria Limited, Wari, a Nigerian company engaged in importation of packed bitumen, where he learned about the management of multinational industries. Consequently, in 1985, Chrome Oil Services was born. This has grown into a vast business empire with interests in oil and gas, insurance and finance, power and energy, telecommunications, logistics, travels and hospitality, both in Nigeria and overseas. Under the Chrome Group of Companies, subsidiaries include Casdec Engineering Limited, Nimek Investments Limited, Niger Insurance PLC, Guinea Insurance PLC, Global Scan Systems Nigeria Limited, Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, Elcrest Exploration and Production Company Limited, Chrome Insurance Brokers Limited, Inland Containers Nigeria Limited, to mention just a few. Fired by the desire to give back and constantly reminded that he was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth, Sir Emeka Ofor established the Sir Emeka Ofor Foundation in early 1990s, a non-profit charitable organization that creates sustainable opportunities for the needy. Just a few examples of his support includes a donation of over $30 million worth of books, computers, and educational material to more than 500 schools and educational institutes in Nigeria and 18 other African countries in collaboration with Books for Africa. Disbursement of over 150 million naira worth of scholarships to more than 1,000 beneficiaries in primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions and skill development centers. Distribution of over 1.3 billion naira worth of medical equipment, medical supplies to 26 medical institutions, including federal, state, and special hospitals in Nigeria. Regular provision of free medical consultations, treatment, and medicaments in Orofite through Sir Emeka Ofor Foundation Clinic. Building and donation of an amenity ward at the National Orthopedic Hospital Enugu. Annual provision of a 250,000 euros glaucoma research grant at the University of Mainz in Germany. Partnership with the Carter Center with an initial pledge of $10 million towards the eradication of river blindness. Establishment of a widows' cooperative society to empower widows and enable them to remain independent. Support of Paralympians, including annual sponsorship of the National Paralympic Soccer Tournament since 2019. Construction and infrastructure projects throughout Orofite, Nigeria. Sir Emeka Ofor is an exemplary Rotarian and has received various recognitions at local and international levels for his unmatched support. He has been recognized as Rotary International's polio ambassador to Nigeria. He's also a member of the Platinum Trustee Circle of the Arch Clump Society and the largest donor to Rotary from Africa. His support includes donations of $3.3 million to fund projects in polio eradication, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, and many other areas of focus. Donation of $500,000 in 2019 that inspired the formation of the first Rotary Peace Center in Africa at the Makerere University in Uganda. Donation of over 70 million naira for the construction of Sir Emeka Ofor Rotary Hall in District 9125, Abuja. Donation of millions of naira to fund polio immunizations, publicity, and advocacies, which contributed to the eradication of the wild polio virus from Nigeria in 2020. In recognition of his unparalleled contributions to community development, Sir Emeka Ofor has received dozens of honors from local and international bodies, and I will mention just a few in the past 2 years that have included an honorary doctorate in entrepreneurship by the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Aqua in May 2019, the Humanitarian Year Award by Sir Andrew Young Foundation, USA in September 2019. The Sun Humanitarian Award for 2019 by Sun Publishing Limited. An honorary business degree in business administration from Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu University, Igbariam in March 2020, and a presidential commendation from President Muhammadu Buhari in 2020. For significant contribution towards eradication of polio in Nigeria. Sir Emeka Ofor's support in civic and church activities is equally lengthy. He is a Knight of St. Christopher's of the Church of Nigeria who takes his religion seriously in good work. He is a loving husband and a father of amazing children. I'm proud to introduce and present Sir Emeka Ofor.
The RI President Holger, NAC, and all past Rotary presidents. The Rotary International Foundation Trustee Chair, Ravi, the host district governor, Anne-Marie Mostek, senior Rotary leaders and staff, senior government officials, my wife Adora, Ambassador Howard Jetta, and my team at Emeka Ofor's Foundation, major donors, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to join the rest of Africa in celebrating 100 years of service above self through Rotary. I am grateful to God that this milestone is coming in my life's time, and I am convinced that these ceremonies would fuel our passion to give more to our communities through Rotary. I came in close contact with Rotary about 13 years ago, but became a Rotarian in 2012. I found in Rotary an excellent platform that connects with my views about philanthropy. I did not have a rosy childhood. With 10 children and other responsibilities, it was difficult for my parents to cope with the challenges of bringing us up. I resolved as early at that time that if God spared my life and made resources available, no matter how small, I would give back to society. With many years of philanthropy, I have come to realize that giving is important, but giving with passion is a blessing. You do not need to have enough to be able to give. No matter how little you give, it generates inner peace and lends a helping hand to someone else. Walking through my foundation, the Emeka Ofor Foundation we have supported the polio eradication efforts of Rotary International through deployment of resources and advocacy. As I mentioned in Sydney at the 2014 Rotary International Convention, many of my age mates, friends, and schoolmates were infected by the polio virus. Some of them still feel dejected and crawl the streets of major cities. I am continuously touched by their condition and inspired to make a difference. We are pleased that our efforts paid off in 2020 with my country, Nigeria, and indeed Africa being declared a polio-free continent by WHO. Moving forward, no child should be made to go through avoidable paralysis. Our children should have access to the vaccines. With over 100 years of doing good in the world, the Rotary Foundation assists donors like us to amplify our good works. TRF has an excellent structure for receiving donations, for disbursing grants, for project monitoring and evaluation. It also has an excellent network of project partners, a robust database, and an excellent system for recognizing donors. Above all, TRF stands on transparency and efficiency, and with our continued support, TRF can touch more lives and open more opportunities in our communities. In a similar manner, Rotary in Africa has visibly broken the barriers of culture, social class, and religion. It has provided avenues for networking, especially through Rotary functions and exchanges. From providing potable water to caring for the sick, Rotary projects are designed to touch lives and address the basic need of the society. Through Interact and Rotaract, our children position themselves for personal development, leadership, and service. I vividly recall the excellent milestones of last year. Despite the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, Africa witnessed the eradication of wild polio virus from the continent, thereby making our communities safer and healthier for our children. The first Rotary Peace Center was also established in Makerere, Uganda, to equip Africans with peace-building skills peculiar to Africa. Truly, the impact of Rotary in Africa cannot be overemphasized. Permit me to welcome our newest major donors. I wish to thank you for giving generously to the Rotary Foundation. I hope that by this gesture, you would motivate donors in your clubs to achieve Poharis Fellows and encourage Poharis Fellows to become major donors like yourselves. I would like to say that this recognition should not mark the end of your support to the Rotary Foundation, but should encourage you to keep up the good work and give even more generously. I look forward to welcoming you all into new major donor levels and AKS in the nearest future. In conclusion, this Centennial celebration is a proud moment for Rotarians and Rotaractors in Africa. I warmly congratulate us for achieving this milestone. I equally extend my warm wishes to the brand new districts 9213 and 9214 as they officially take off on 1st July. Now, more than ever, I am convinced that investing in Rotary and the Rotary Foundation is a right decision to make. As we celebrate this centennial, I ask us to remain committed to service and to our support for the Rotary Foundation. Thank you very much, and God bless Rotary in Africa.
Thank you, Sir Emeka, for your continued support and dedication to making the world a better place. I now invite another good friend of mine, past District Governor Eric Kimani, who is also incoming EMGA for Region 28, for a vote of thanks.
Thank you very much for that introduction. My name, as you said, is Eric Kimani, and I am the incoming Endowment and Major Gift Advisor for Region 28 of Zone 22 for the year 2021-22. My job is easy. You've asked me to thank our speaker. Our speaker, Sir Emeka Offor, is a very well-known Rotarian in the Rotarian world for his generosity, best known for the work that he has done in education and health, and we want to thank him for the work he's done both in Nigeria and across Africa around education, health, empowering the needy, but above all, for the work he has done in Rotary. We truly appreciate he is the inspiration for all of us around the Makerere Peace Center in Uganda. The efforts and the contribution that he has made to that Peace Center is what has provided inspiration to many of us. We thank you, sir, for inspiring us to having our own Peace Center in Africa, and one of very few in the world. We will eternally be grateful for this. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your continuing leadership around the world and in Nigeria, and above all, on behalf of the many, many beneficiaries in Rotary and in many places in the world, we most sincerely thank you. I also want to thank our gracious leaders, starting with Past RI President K.R. Ravidran, the chair of the Foundation 2020-21. Your great leadership, sir, and in ensuring that the ship stays the course is quite clear to us. And we have seen huge, monumental positive change under your leadership. We thank you for inspiring the senior leaders in this part of the world to become better leaders and challenging us. Your challenge to become better leaders is quite clear to all of us. We thank you most truly. We also want to thank our trustee, Gita Mane, trustee 2020-24, for her attention to detail in almost everything she does. Her genuine ability to follow through matters, we thank you most sincerely, Trustee Gita. You've been a pillar of support for our region. We want to thank our RI Director, Katerina. Thank you for the support you've given this region, because we know you are located far, far off in Greece, but you've not missed. This week, yesterday, last night, I saw you at a meeting in Egypt. We thank you for the work you do for this region. We want to thank Past RI Vice President and Past RI Director Yinka. Thank you for the boldness and energy in ensuring that Africa meets its goals and continues to grow. You are perhaps the one person, and the one person I know who knows almost everybody in Africa, almost every governor by name. And finally, I want to thank our predecessors in MGAs, Saj, Mohammed, and Emmanuel. You have done a sterling job. For your leadership and dedication to the cause, despite these hard times of COVID, we truly, truly, truly thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We thank you for everything, our leaders. Thank you.
It has been such a great pleasure hosting you and being the coordinator for this virtual event. Thank you very much, and let's go out and make the world a better place to live in. I finally invite Trustee Jeter for the concluding remarks. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Friends, it's been great to have been with you all today, our most generous donors. I'm deeply honored to have this privilege to thank you all for attending this virtual Major Donor event. Saramaka, your generosity knows no bounds. You have constantly and consistently contributed to our initiatives. We at the Rotary Foundation recognize you for your immense generosity all round. But your latest contribution to our first ever Peace Center in Africa, situated at the Makerere University, will have a profound impact for peace on our continent. With peace, we have so many possibilities for progress. So once again, Saramaka, a sincere thank you. To all our major donors and friends, your contributions bring hope and opportunities to people all around the world. Your passion, your generosity is the heartbeat for all the activities at the Rotary Foundation. So thank you again for sharing your energy and your dedication, for truly making a positive impact despite the unprecedented challenges of the pandemic. Rotarians like yourselves have shown an incredible amount of generosity. It is with your contributions that our foundation turns dreams into realities. So friends, the work of Rotarians is only possible because of you. So please accept my sincere gratitude for making the Rotary Foundation your charity of choice. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the Chair of the Board of Trustees, Ravi Ravindran, Director Katerina, past Rotary International Vice President Yinka Babalola, Endowment and Major Gift Advisor Emmanuel Katangole, Mohamed Delaver, Sergi Daudi, and past District Governor Eric Kimani. With all the silent supporters of this event working conscientiously in the background, I recognize you and I thank you. So friends, it's been great being with you today. I thank you all for being with us, and I look forward to seeing you in person very soon. Till then, stay well, stay safe. God bless.